Yuli Gurriel spent 4 at-bats hitting the ball straight up. Then he used the fifth one to send everybody home. Welcome back to Astro 100, where we're moving backward through Astros history, one player and one game at a time. This is Astro 66, Yuli Gurriel. And a reminder that a terrible night doesn't have to stay terrible. So on paper, on paper, Houston's fine. It's June 28th. The Astros are 50-32 and 5 games clear of Texas in the AL West. That's the view from 30,000 feet. Down on the ground, the team is getting a little shaky. The Astros have lost 9 of 11. A 7-game skid finally ended in New York, and Houston came home to beat Pittsburgh once before getting smoked in the last 2 games, 14-2 and 10-0. 24 runs and 2 scored in 48 hours. Jose Altuve and George Springer have only recently returned. Carlos Correa is still out with a fractured rib. He somehow suffered during a massage. So it's not just a must-win game. Let's not manufacture October stakes in a June game. But it does feel like a tell us who you are game. Is Houston simply a great team passing through an ugly patch? Or is something actually wrong? So what makes you nervous? When a good team starts sliding? Is it the losses or the way those losses look? Seattle arrives at 37-48. They opened 13-2. General manager Jerry DiPoto called the plan a step back. It's an understatement. Veterans are already being moved, and Seattle's not a contender. Not this year. But it's an AL West opponent with enough pop to make Houston's bad week a little worse. Yuli Gurriel was born June 9th, 1984 in Sancti Spiritus, Cuba. And he wasn't just raised around baseball. He was born into Cuban baseball royalty. His father, Lourdes Gurriel Sr., was a series national star and a longtime National League fixture. Yuli became the country's next great Gurriel, playing for Sancti Spiritus and later Industrialis. In 2005-06, he had 27 jacks, one shy of the Cuban League record. He then went on to win Olympic gold in Athens 2004 and helped Cuba reach the first World Baseball Classic final in 2006. Then he won Olympic silver in Beijing 2 years later. Long before American fans knew the pineapple haircut, scouts knew the bat. He was already a star on the international stage, but the usual road to MLB wasn't open inside Cuba's system. Gurriel played legally for Japan for Yokohama in 2014. He hit .305 with 11 home runs in 62 games. Then he returned home. In February 2016, Yuli and his younger brother, Lourdes Jr., left the Cuban team after the Caribbean Series. They established residency in Haiti and pursued MLB free agency. Houston signed the 31-year-old that July for 5 years and $47.5 million. He debuted August 21st. And how different do you think his career looked if he joined the MLB at 22 instead of 32? And he didn't need much runway. As a 33-year-old rookie, 2017, Gurriel hit .299, 43 doubles, 18 home runs. Then in the postseason, he launched a massive 3-run shot off Clayton Kershaw, World Series Game 5. That postseason also includes something that can't be edited out. After homering off Yu Darvish, Game 3, Gurriel made a racist gesture in the dugout. He apologized, and MLB suspended them for 5 games in 2018. He also underwent sensitivity training. It was ugly, indefensible, and it belongs in the record. 2018, Gurriel hit 291, along with a 403 OBP. Sorry, that's a 403 average with runners in scoring position. Gurriel didn't walk much. He just put the bat to the ball. La Piña came from the hair, which stood up like a pineapple top. Hair up, bat out, ball in play. By this night, Gurriel's production is, I guess you'd consider it light for a first baseman. He's 35, and even though he's just in his third major league season, it's fair to wonder whether his decline has started. His 8th home run, still waiting. Opener Matt Caracidi handles the first. Lefty Tommy Malone, follows with 5 scoreless innings, allows 3 hits. The Seattle staff, battered, isn't supposed to silence Houston, but it does. Wade Miley's just as good for the Astros. His only mistake comes in the 3rd, when 29-year-old rookie Austin Nola reaches the Crawford boxes for his first MLB home run. Nola wasn't sure it had enough distance, but it did. Seattle led 1-0. Miley allowed 1 run, 3 hits, 6 innings. Josh James keeps it there in the 7th, giving Houston a good chance. Then Houston turns that chance into slapstick. Get this, Miles Straw, he's a base runner, nothing to be embarrassed about. He pinch runs with 1 out and steals second base. Jake Marisnick singles. Gary Pettis is waving Straw home. The fastest guy in the roster, maybe the fastest guy in the league, misses third base. Yeah, he starts for the plate, realizes it, and retreats. George Springer walk loads the bases for Jose Altuve, and Austin Adams falls behind in the count 3-love. But Altuve grounds the 3rd. Tim Beckham throws home for the force play. Then Alex Bregman strikes out 3 pitches. Excuse me. So if you're Miles Straw, how do you miss the 3rd base? How do you miss 3rd base with the tying run in a 1-0 game? More importantly, how do you come back from that? An inning that felt cursed. Up in Toronto that same night, Lourdes Jr. hits 2 home runs against Kansas City. Yuli will later say he already knew. 2 brothers, 1,300 miles apart, are about to combine for 3 home runs in one night. Their father spent decades as one of Cuba's great players. Now, both of his sons are lighting up the same MLB scoreboard. Seattle moves into the 8th inning still leading, and the night slowly hardens into one more lousy Houston loss. You can hear the post-game language forming already. Missed opportunity, tough stretch. We'll try again tomorrow. But then, with 2 outs, Josh Reddick drives an Anthony Bass pitch into the right field seats. Houston's 17-inning scoreless drought, it's done. It's 1-1, and Minute Maid Park wakes up. Ryan Presley works the 8th, Roberto Osuna handles the 9th, and Will Harris pitches around a single in the 10th. There's your series handoff, because Astro 65, Will Harris threw a 0, and Astro 66 bats with 1 out in the bottom half of the same inning. Gurriel comes up to the plate, 0 for 4, and those 4 outs, they're not even interesting. He popped up in the infield every single time. Matt Festa, the pitcher, gets ahead, but Gurriel stays alive. And at 2-2, Festa throws a fastball. Yuli got the pitch he knew that he could drive, and this one isn't coming down anywhere near an infielder. It bangs off the facade above the Crawford boxes. His first career walk-off home run. Second career walk-off hit. Astros win 2-1. After 3 hours and 17, 3 hours and 27 minutes. Gurriel gets mobbed at home, and Harris gets the win. If you watched live, did Reddick's homer convince you, or did it feel doomed until Yuli's ball landed? After the game, A.J. Hinch calls it really an emotional win. Houston survived every wasted opening and kept the game close enough for 2 swings to rescue. Gurriel admits that he never felt right in his first 4 trips to the plate. On the last one, he stayed focused and locked in. He fouled off a fastball, knew he could catch it, then he got another one. Reddick calls his shot the swing Houston had waited on for a week and a half. Miley said, "Good teams pull together and find a way." Seattle manager Scott Service knows 1 run at Minute Maid. It's usually not enough. And it wasn't clean. That's why it mattered. Houston didn't fix every bad at-bat. It stopped the bat stretch from owning the ending. And the next night, Gurriel hit a walk-off double in the 10th. With that swing, he became the first Astro since Jeff Blum in 2009 with game-ending hits on consecutive days. Houston completes the sweep on Sunday, and hopefully they can avoid a sweep tomorrow, Sunday, against these Orioles, but who knows, right? The Astros became the team everybody expected. They trade for Zach Greinke and finish him MLB best 107 and 55. Justin Verlander wins the AL Cy Young Award. Garrett Cole finishes second. Yordan Alvarez is a unanimous American League Rookie of the Year. Houston survives Tampa Bay in 5, beats the Yankees in 6, and the World Series goes 7, with the road team winning every single game. Gurriel homers off Max Scherzer in Game 7, but Washington comes back to win 6-2. Meanwhile, Seattle, they never recovered from their 13-2. Let's call it a mirage. The Mariners finished 68-94, last in the American League West. The step back became a long fall, although eventually finally finds its way back to October. Eventually. And this swing doesn't just end one game. It starts the hottest stretch of Gurriel's MLB career. The next night brings another walk-off. Then 5 straight games with a homer. In July, Gurriel hit .398 with a club record 12 home runs and 31 RBI. He finishes 2019 at .298, 31 homers, 104 runs batted in. And what season would you take? The 2019 power year or the batting title year that was still to come? And that was after a rough 2020. 2021, Gurriel produced a great late career surprise. At the age of 37, he batted .319 to win the AL batting title. He also won the Gold Glove Award, becoming the oldest first baseman to win one at the time. His numbers fell in 2022, but he batted .347 in the postseason. A knee injury in the World Series, Game 5, ended his run early, and Houston finished the job without him. Gurriel got his second ring, then he became a free agent when the Astros moved on to Jose Abreu. Gurriel, meanwhile, he helped Miami reach the postseason 2023. In 24, he hit .292 at AAA for Atlanta before Kansas City acquired him. At the age of 40, he starts all 6 Royals playoff games. Then he makes San Diego's 2025 opening day roster. But as a DH, he goes 4 for 36 and gets designated for assignment. He elected free agency on May 3rd, and as of this recording, he remains listed as a free agent and hasn't appeared in the MLB again. His career line stands at .276, 98 home runs, and 471 RBI. It's a pretty good MLB career by itself. Add the decade and a half before the majors, and it's something much bigger. So next time we leave Houston and move back to Denver, move back 7 months. The Blues are 8-12-1. Yeah, you heard me. The Blues are 8-12-1. They fired Mike Yeo. Craig Berube's already unpacked. Barely. And the eventual Stanley Cup champions look nothing like it. Colorado pushes them into overtime. And the biggest man on the ice decides he's a speedster. Colton Parayko, Blue 17, goes coast to coast and finishes a one-handed wraparound, 134 into overtime. That's Blue 17. Colton Parayko, November 30th, 2018. But this one belonged to La Piña. 4 pop-ups, 1 fastball, and 1 very different ending. I'm the Wolf. This is Sports Live 100. This has been Astro 66. Yuli Gurriel. Thanks for hanging out. If you're still here, maybe I'll see you next time. Bye.